Yo, what is up, YouTube? Back with another video, bro. You know what it is, right in the ropes. Yo, so 4 days, bro. 4 days, count them. 4 until the Royal Rumble, until we are officially in WrestleMania season. On the road to WrestleMania, baby. Y'all know what it is. We got to talk about the World Championship match we just had tonight on Raw. We got to talk about Saturday night's main event. We got to talk about last week's SmackDown and so much more. So much more. All right, yo. It's right in the ropes. Y'all know what it is. Let's go.
Yo, welcome back, YouTube. We are here with another episode of the Riding the Ropes podcast. We are back again after a little hiatus. We do apologize, but we got a banger episode for y'all, man. I am your host, Travis, here with my co-host, Win, and we are Riding the Ropes.
Yes, sir, bro. You already know what it is, man. Dog, this week has been crazy. Bro, it's been crazy. I know you mentioned last week we took the hiatus. Unfortunately, sorry, you guys, technical difficulties, editing, a lot of problems we had encountered, but we're back, right back to it. And kind of
like we never left.
Yeah, right. And kind of thankfully too, bro, because we, this week has been crazy. Like I said, we had Saturday night's main event. We had Friday night SmackDown. And then this week on Raw, unexpected World Heavyweight Championship match, which is crazy.
Plenty to cover.
Yeah. So let's go
Definitely
ahead
on the road to WrestleMania.
let's go ahead and dive into it. So let's cover SmackDown, the SmackDown before Saturday night's main event. So we had Sammy open the show, right?
Right.
And what he was talking about the Fatal 4-Way, right? Yeah. And then Drew came out there, if I'm correct.
No, it was Trick.
It was Trick. And yeah, bro. I don't know, bro. WWE's putting them in this spot in the main event scene. I like how they're putting them there, and like with the top dogs, bro. Sammy, Orton, bro. You can't beat her. And Damian
They're
Priest
throwing them out there and letting them learn to swim.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a lot to learn. Yeah, he's still gonna improve, but he looks good out there, bro. His presentation's been good so far.
I have no complaints so far. He may have he had the match very early on that he had a couple little hiccups in, but other than that,
yeah, solid. Then you had DP, Damian Priest comes out there and basically, throws his 2 cents in and has like a verbal jab with Trick, and Trick is basically like not taking any shit. And then he hits Sammy over the head with the mic, and then him and DP get to fighting, get to brawling. So
yeah, all over the place.
It was pretty interesting. Basically all leading up to the Fatal 4-Way. That's basically what it was. Trying to build tension for that.
Trying to make each one look credible.
Exactly. Which it did a good job of.
It definitely did, especially for Damian.
Yeah.
Somebody who hasn't been in the main event scene from the last year. And a lot of people I've seen like online talk on how he pretty much is being buried. But I seen he came out, I'm trying to think of whose podcast. He was on a podcast, and he pretty much said that he's been working hurt. He had been working hurt when he was World Heavyweight Champion. And he was avoiding surgery.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can definitely go look it up.
That's crazy.
But he pretty much said that this was like WWE protecting him from himself by reducing his schedule back for the past year or so that he's not been,
Yeah.
up
Yeah,
in the
because he
main
was
event scene.
yeah, it's not it's like it feels like a distant memory that he was world champion, right? Like, it feels like it was so long ago, but it really wasn't that long ago,
No, not at all.
So, he's got a long way to go too, he's got a lot more potential in him. So it's good that they're still using him where they're using him.
Yeah, good to see him
Um,
back up in the upper mid main event. And I feel like that's where he should be floating around.
exactly. So then what do we have? First match, Ilya Dragunov and Melo, US Open Challenge, a rematch. Uh Melo wins with shenanigans from The Miz. So The Miz, I forget what he did. He
He
interfered,
pushed
but I forget what he
he
did specifically.
it Ilya was on the turnbuckle and he pushed him.
Mm, yep, yep. So, I mean, I think this is all leading to a Miz and Melo match.
It definitely
But
is. It's playing more into the Mellow Miz rivalry that we seen early on when when Mello came up and was tagged along with the Miz. Sorry, lack of a better term, should I say, because tagged along with the Miz shouldn't be said lightly.
yeah, right. Miz is definitely more credible than that. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, dude. Like, I mean, I would like it for Miz to win, but I also don't want to kill Melo's momentum. So,
No, you can't
I would
kill.
like for Miz to I would like for Miz to get something though. Yeah, I saw it was a post on Instagram or some statistic where it was talking about how Miz hasn't won a televised singles match in like 2 years. I was like, bruh, we're
Dang.
talking about Rey Mysterio, but what about the Miz? He hasn't won a televised
Right.
singles match in 2 years.
At least I can remember. Trying to remember the last time I can remember a Rey Mysterio singles match, and the last time I can remember a Miz singles match win, and which was more recent. The one more I can't think of the Miz. Let's just put it like that.
Bro,
2 years as somebody who's there consistently is
Grand Slam champion.
two-time Grand
Yep,
Slam champion.
yep,
Put respect on
2 times.
his name.
So, I mean, and that's in 2 years. I'm just saying. But that's besides the point. But yeah, I think, like I said, it's leading to Miz and
Most
Mello.
definitely.
And Melo's gonna go over, obviously, but what do you think is next for Melo after the Miz? Because I think this is just a short term thing. Do you think it even goes to Mania? I don't even think it goes to. It might.
I think it might lead to another match with Ilya. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough to call SmackDown right now.
Yeah, maybe Melo holds it until there's a shakeup, and then he
Because
fuses
it's
with
like,
somebody from the shakeup. But I don't really know.
especially with it
But
being an open challenge, because, at that
mhm,
point, anybody could show up.
exactly. Okay. So after that, we had Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green. Uh, it was basically a reverse from what we've had the last 2 weeks with Jordan Grace. So, Jordan Grace had her 2 squash matches. This was basically showing Jade's equally as dominant, if not better. She was posing, flaunting around the ring, doing her thing. And she just basically squashed Chelsea for the most part.
To
But
see
you did
that
get the
for Chelsea
you did
Green.
get the
But
fit. Yes, very true.
back to back
But
weeks, she gets squashed. Like,
yeah, yeah,
she deserves better than that.
better, yes, for sure. Um, but then, the main part of that segment was Jordan Grace getting another face-to-face interaction with Jade. So I think they're going in this direction. oof. Is if Bianca, if we're hedging all our bets on Bianca returning at the Royal Rumble, on the Women's Rumble, and her winning it, where does that leave Jordan? Because you don't do all this and for Jordan to not get an opportunity to win the title,
Maybe
and
it's a
then who? And if she
maybe it's
has
a
an
triple
opportunity,
threat. You know how and I hate to say this, but you know how well, not really hate to say this, but
dude, I don't know though.
it's
That's
not
kind of
very there's
I'm
not very often that you get I don't know, I'm not gonna say very often because you do get your singles women's matches on Mania, but it seems like whenever it involves the title, they always want to do a multi-women match.
mhm.
So I could see it being maybe a triple threat match.
Yeah, my
How do we get to Jordan being in it? I don't know right now. This is just me spitballing, but
yeah, that's what I'm. That's where I'm like the wheels are turning in my head right now. It's like, okay,
because
how
it's
do we get to, because she has that's the thing, like Jade and Bianca is so powerful, just them two, the story, the history.
they deserve a singles match.
Yeah, so it's like it almost feels like you're just forcing it almost, even no matter what story you tell, like to tie her into it, it almost feels like you're forcing her into it. And it's not to say that she's not it's not to say that like I don't want her near the title, but it feels crowded, you know? It's almost like it would almost be the same situation if, for say, if you had Drew McIntyre and then you have Cody and then you have Jacob, that's three people. That's already a lot. But then you're trying to throw Sammy into it. That's like trying to make that a fatal four way now. And now you're like, okay.
Which is
I
quite
mean,
possible.
I feel like it's possible. Yeah, it is. But at the same time, it feels like that's a little much.
No,
And then
I
you're gonna do that and a triple threat women's championship match. So two multi-man world title matches.
yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm not saying that's how it's gonna go down, but I definitely agree with you where I think, like I said, my pick is Bianca for the Women's Royal Rumble. I think it's quite obvious they're holding her off for that. I think her versus Jade deserves a 1v1. And I also agree with you that any way that no matter which way you go about trying to get Jordan Grace in there, it's gonna feel like it's forced. It's gonna feel like she's just a tag along, in a way. Because the main story is going to be, the main story in that triple threat is going to be the Jade Bianca story, just
Right,
because of the history they have behind it.
right. And you add Jordan to it. She feels, but
But I
again,
agree with you that you don't have Jordan do all this to not get a chance at the title. Not saying she has to win it, because I also think Bianca is the one to take the title off of Jade.
yep, agreed.
But maybe her chance comes at Elimination Chamber.
Okay. So let's move on. It might, but let's move on. We got the tag title match, Solo and Tama versus Gacy and Dexter Lumis from the Y6, if y'all don't know. Uh, so the MFTs walk out as a new WWE Tag Team Champions on SmackDown. Uh, what did we think about the match? It was pretty solid,
It
solid
was
match.
okay.
I wish, but again, so what are they gonna do with the MFTs going forward? Is I'm interested to see, is WWE going to pull a situation where, like I told you on the phone, bro, I want them to do not a evolution. Like everybody in the group has championship gold, like at once. So you got the tag team. So, is it going to be the MFTs or is it going to be the Vision or is it going to be neither? Because
The
I
vision,
mean,
the vision would fit more. It would fit the vision more, just on how,
yeah,
as of right now, both are being built
I think so too.
off of evolution in a way. Not like, you
Yeah.
know,
Not beat for beat, but yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so I think it would fit them more. I kind of hate this because I feel like Solo should be up towards that upper. Not saying he needs to be like firmly in the main event, but he should be somewhere up there.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I told you this. I'm not that long ago. I'm pretty sure that at this point, with how I've seen the last year play out, you should have just had Solo beat Roman for the Ulafala.
Yep. Yep. Because essentially, he's in a little bit better spot because he's with a faction than he was before all of that stuff with Roman and him, you know, because remember, he was on that losing streak. He was losing and losing and losing for like a minute. It was like 2 years or something like that. It was like a year or something. He had like a mean losing streak. So yeah.
Yeah,
It-
so it's like I just feel like you at this how with how the last year played out, Roman wouldn't be diminished in any way if he would have lost to Ulafala then.
yeah, you can't be in any lower spot than he was prior to that storyline. You know, as far as like the way he was booked, because he was a glorified jobber. He was a highly like he had good storylines, but he was losing matches. You know, and then you know, like you said, as far as the Ulafala, he should have won the Ulafala to maximize on his momentum. But
Yeah, he would have
now
then
with the tag, like I said, with the MFTs and the tag, like I said, now he's in a little bit better spot than he was before because he's got something to do. He's not losing all the time, but he's he's still not a main eventer like where we thought he would be by this point. But
yeah, right. Like
you know,
I mean,
I guess
I
I
don't
don't know
even know.
because he has had opportunities
I feel
to
like
win the
they may
title,
go
but
back and forth with the titles a couple times just because they're both factions. They have both different. I hate to say this, but
no, no, no,
I could
don't
see
say
it
that.
just because I look at it like this: like
We
you
gotta
have different.
have more MFTs and Wyatt Six,
What else are they gonna do with them at this point, leading into Mania?
brother. You're gonna hurt my soul. All right, so then after we had the tag team match, we had Solo, or I'm sorry, not Solo. Drew McIntyre came out and cut his promo. So, what do we think about the promo?
So Drew, he definitely made his say, you know, let it be known. He's gonna be, it's Drew McIntyre. It's kind of, you know what I mean? It's like,
It's like it speaks for itself. Like Drew is like, you know, he's top dog. You know, Drew McIntyre. Ain't much really you could say. He's the Universal Champ. Put some respect on him.
yeah,
But
right. That boy is the champ, and he looks very, very dangerous right now.
very true. I don't, you know, I don't know how Sammy is gonna fare in this match. Part of me, you know, I want him to win, but I don't know if he will. We'll get to it when we get to it, but yeah, I don't know if he will. Main event was after that. We had Trick and Damien. Decent match,
It was decent.
in my opinion. I thought it was solid.
It was, it was no 5 star,
It was
nothing to write home about, but it wasn't terrible.
solid match, right? Solid match. You had Sammy interfere, so it ended in a no contest. You know, earlier in the night, Damien told him, you know, Sammy, you got a habit of inserting yourself in people's matches. You know, please don't, you know, don't be in my match. I can handle my own business, basically. You know.
Sammy inserted himself in the match anyways.
Yeah. Sammy was like, "You don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad." Okay. And then he's like, all right, bet. And then interferes, beats down. Who was it? Who was it he attacked? I'm sorry.
He
I'm
attacked
drawing a
Trick.
blank right now. But yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah, they were beefing.
And then they had their little back and forth with Damien, and then it looked like Trick was gonna stand tall, and that's when Randy rolled up and RKO'd Trick. And then, if I'm remembering correctly,
Yeah.
also RKO'd Sammy as well.
Yeah, they did. Because he walked up and they were like, yeah, they all cool, buddy. And, you know, Randy, he's like, nah, son, RKO.
It's got to be out of nowhere.
Yeah, always. All right, so let's move on to Saturday night's main event. So obviously, I mentioned, Sammy was going to face Drew McIntyre. He, that's the biggest match on the card was the Fatal 4-Way, but we got a couple of the things we want to tap into first. So we were supposed to get Cody and Jacob, so that they opened the show and it looked like it was going to be a normal match. And then Cody makes his way down to the ring, so he comes out second. And Cody's coming down to the ring, and Jacob attacks him as he's doing the whoa on top of the turnbuckle, and then he hits him, and then they just brawl, bro. They just flat out brawl
All throughout
going
the
into the
arena.
crowd. Yeah, they're just going, and then it culminates, ends with Drew basically standing over him, being like, "Don't kid yourselves. Don't forget I'm the champ." So Drew had to make his presence known, but
Right.
that still leaves me to. We'll get to it again. Like I said, when we get to the Fatal 4-Way, we'll talk about it. But it leads me to question where Sammy fits in with all this.
I would.
So
We'll talk
yeah.
about it when we get to
Oh,
it.
go ahead.
No, there's nothing. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
So yeah, after that we had the women's tag team titles, Rhea and Rio as they're being called now, and then against Judgment Day, Liv and Roxanne. Solid match. Io and Rhea retain as expected. Nothing really to write home about there, but solid match, entertaining. Always
I told you
for the best women on the roster, so you're never gonna be disappointed with that.
Yeah, well, I told you tonight. I think Rio are holding the belts until at least Mania. What they end up doing at Mania is I don't know, but yeah, I think they hold them till at least Mania at this point. I don't see anything that should show me otherwise.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. I think they hold them until Mania. I don't know, like you, I don't know what I don't know how we break them apart. Again, obviously the episode we recorded last week didn't get released, but we talked about it over the phone, and last week it's like, how do you break up Io and Rhea? And you know, I guess if you want to tell the classic tale of one of them turning on each other, cool. But, we were thinking superstar shakeup, and then you just, break them up that way because it just sucks to have one of them go heel. And, we were talking about on the phone earlier, either one of them going heel right now is not, because they're so
Isn't the
over
move?
as baby faces. It's just not, good
They're
for
both
business.
massively over.
Right. So, but after them, you had AJ and Shinsuke. Now that was match of the night. That was match of the night. Yeah.
Boy, match of the
That was
weekend.
it.
Match of the weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Match of all three shows.
For sure.
Boy,
For sure.
and boys was
sure.
cooking with chicken
No
grease.
doubt.
You hear me?
With
Chicken grease.
Yeah.
Boy.
Nasty work. Nasty work. Yeah, no, is if this is AJ's last week in WWE, if this is his last 7 days, man, like I said at the top of the show, there's 4 days left, but over the last few days, he's giving us the best he's got on the way out. If this is his final week, he's got his match with Gunther coming up in 4 days. Could be, they kept hitting on it tonight on Raw. This could be his final Monday Night Raw. So we'll see what happens.
Well, we talked about it. I mean, like you said earlier, obviously the episode we recorded last week didn't get recorded, but we talked about it extensively. Our thoughts on, well, I should say our immediate thoughts, because it was fresh off of it becoming official that he was putting his career on the line. And even with a week to digest it, I still believe I'm okay. I still have the same thoughts on it. I'm okay with it if it leads to him having one last run in TNA. I kind of think that's what AJ wants to. And from what I've read out there, I seen his contract does expire in April, or not April, February.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know how
So
how
I
much
mean,
truth that is.
If that is true, that makes perfect sense. Now, even if for whatever reason, say his contract wasn't up, right? Given the relationship that WWE and TNA have, you couldn't tell me that WWE wouldn't allow for him if that's what he wanted. It wouldn't work that out, business to business, company to company. As
It might be the
just
only
that's
time,
something you would.
and you could get away with it. You don't, but you would have to have them go compete on TNA. Or I guess you really don't have to have him. No, not really, because he's not contracted by WWE. So he's retired. Technically, he's still retired from WWE. I'm contracted to TNA.
Right.
Now, we have a partnership that me being contracted to TNA allows for me to now compete in WWE. Now, does that minimize the fact that he had a retirement match in WWE? That's for, each and every person to decide, but, you can't, like you said, you can't tell me with the partnership that they have going on if it is what AJ wants to get. And I really don't think in this retirement tour that we would really see too many people, from WWE get to have him at, if he were to go to TNA. I don't think it would be him going to TNA and just having him just having a retirement tour there of, facing all WWE guys.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be different guys. He just said it, earlier tonight. You even talked about it because we were watching it together. He said wrestlers all over the world he would love to have one more match with, all over the world, not just in WWE. So that was like, a wink wink. I took that as like, all right,
Yeah,
maybe he
right.
goes to
I mean,
TNA,
as you said, I
maybe he
called it
goes.
out as soon as he said it. Like, I said something as soon as
So
that
we'll
came
see.
up. I was like, "Oh, what?" But getting back though, the match between him and Shin, the entrance, the entrance with that gear,
Yeah. Yeah, that mask, that was fire.
that gear
That
was
shit was heat.
fire.
Yeah. Well, his I forgot to mention Cody's too. Cody's mask was fire at the top of the show too.
Yeah, that new
I
that
don't know
new
if you got a
mask he
chance to see
came
that,
out
but that
with.
shit was tough. Yeah, yeah,
That
that
was the
joint was
first time he
tough.
came out in that one. Cause other before that, well, it was either always the white one or what was it, gold or whatever the other one
Yeah, the
was.
gold, the gold.
I know there was two. One was white and
But
there was another one, but that one, heat.
AJ's was tough. He got it on the entrance, But I can't
I
even lie
texted you
though.
as soon as he
Shinsuke has
walked
got
out.
the iconic entrance. He's like, bro, that mask though.
Fire.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I see, I peep. But no, let's go on to the Fatal 4-Way, the main event. So, Orton, Trick, DP, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn.
I mean,
Obviously, I mentioned already that Sammy comes out victorious, but the match was good overall. And it speaks to how good Shinsuke and AJ are that their match was, in our opinion, match of the night. Because the Fatal 4-Way was also a really good match. But the AJ and Shinsuke match was just so good that it kind of overshadowed the main event. Not saying that the main event was bad, but again, it was just like, ooh, how
it
do you
just wasn't
follow that?
AJ Shan.
How do you follow that? Yeah, right. Um, but outside of that, match was good. You protected Trick. Everybody looked pretty strong for the most part. I wanna know what they're gonna do with Randy at this point. I
I
think we'll
told
find
you
out
it's
this
him and
week on
Trick.
SmackDown something. Yeah, I think it's gonna be him and Trick, but we'll find out how they progress that this week, Or, it could be Trick and DP because Trick and DP have beef. And then who took the pin? I can't remember who took the pin. Was it DP?
I want to say I'm trying to think because it was Randy RKO'd Sammy. Trick
Yeah, because Randy wasn't in the
threw
ring.
Randy out.
I
Huh?
know. I remember seeing him trying to get in the ring at the end. I said, I know. I said I was agreeing with you. I was saying I know Randy wasn't in the ring. I know he was outside the ring because I remember seeing
Yeah.
him
I want to
getting
say it
back
was
in the
DP.
ring after the his DP. Yeah, I think it was DP. So
Yeah,
I
because
don't
like
know,
you said,
man. I
Randy was
think
trying to get in at the
DP
last
might.
second.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think DP might have some unfinished business with Trick and Pot because they had the match prior to Saturday night's main event. So,
But
I know they had
don't
their
forget
singles match.
that
So it's like,
don't forget that Randy had the initial encounter with Trick, like his second week on the roster, where Trick smacked the microphone out of his hand.
yep, yep, I agree with you. You know, it's not lost on me. I agree with you. I think that's where they're gonna go, but it wouldn't surprise me if they go Damian Priest and Trick
No, they
as
could
like a,
honestly
a
go either
backup
way.
in case they want to use Orton. Yeah, and the wonderful thing about it is a beautiful problem to have if they haven't decided because either way you go about it helps Trick tremendously, helps bolster his portfolio, like helps bolster him as a character. So it really doesn't matter either way you want to go with it. If you want to go Orton, if you want to go DP, or if you want to go both, you can have a triple threat. It doesn't got to be for nothing. You can just have a triple threat match. Good match.
We're just
Huh?
making a WrestleMania full of multi-man matches.
Yeah, right. Literally, because that's what it is. You just thought about it. It's like, damn. So you're gonna have a triple threat women's triple threat world title match, a triple threat just for the hell of it, just for the hell of it. Okay, just a
A
WrestleMania triple
fatal
threat. Let's just
four-way,
make it a
fatal
3 night
four-way
WrestleMania.
for the Universal title.
Hey, no, all right. I'm sorry. We're trolling. We're trolling. Yeah, we're trolling.
We're
We're
gonna have
trolling. I
we're gonna
promise. We're
have
trolling.
a 6-man Hell in a Cell for the tag title, or a 6-team Hell in a Cell for the tag titles.
We're trolling, bro. We're trolling, bro. Ain't no way, bro. We're gonna have all multi-man matches. It's insanity. All right. We gotta go. Yeah, let's talk about Monday Night Raw, man. Let's tap that real quick. So we had Raw tonight. AJ comes out, cuts a
Open the
promo,
show.
and then open the show, and then you got Punk coming out there, and you know, Punk's basically like, I'm a defending champion. I'd hate to see that, I want to face you. I want a chance to face you before you leave, you know, and if you lose to Gunther, that may not happen. And AJ kind of took that personal. AJ's like, well, I know I can beat Gunther. I know I can beat you too. And you know what that means. Here we go. But we get an unexpected world championship match because our champion, heavyweight champion, CM Punk, like he said, he's the fighting champion. So we get a main event that's going to be a world championship match between AJ Styles and CM Punk one-on-one for the first time.
First time in WWE.
And what could be AJ's first or last Monday Night Raw. So the stakes are pretty high for that.
I don't see how it goes any other way but ending for AJ at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. If he wins, we'll talk about it again in a few. But if he wins, he didn't do all of this to have him win. It feels anticlimactic if he wins. Sorry
Really,
to tell
it
you.
feels like it's a disservice to Gunther.
It's a disservice to Gunther, and storyline wise, it's not compelling if he wins. You know what I mean? It's not as entertaining. Like, it feels bad, but a part of me wants to see him lose. Part of me wants to see him lose, not because I want him to retire, but because I want to see what other stories can spring from it. Because I don't think he's going to actually retire. He might retire from WWE, but I don't think he's going to actually retire.
Yeah, he's
So
for sure not retiring. He's retiring at the end of 2026. Yes, he's retiring from WWE at the Royal Rumble. But just because he's retiring from WWE, like you said, there's endless possibilities out there on who he could go face off with in this final year. That gives him so much more freedom. Even if he is contracted to TNA, you think he won't be able to have now maybe not no AEW wrestlers, but just about anybody else I could see on the table. I don't think it'll be I don't think WWE is gonna just be like, yeah, okay, if he's contracted to TNA, that is. they're just not gonna be like, "Yeah, okay, we're gonna bring an AEW wrestler in on the team." Like, they're not gonna do that. But damn near anywhere else, I could see it happen.
Right.
Hell, I
Yeah, he could do something special there. Absolutely. Absolutely.
but, moving on
But no,
from there,
after the
we're,
opening segment, yeah, we got the 6-man or 6-woman tag match for the number one contenders, right? Or no, it wasn't a number one contenders match, I don't think.
no, it was just a six-woman
Or was
tag
it? No?
match between Judgment Day, Rio, and
Yeah,
Stephanie Blackhair.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
And
it
then
was
Rio
entertaining.
won that.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining.
Yeah, it shows you how much I paid attention to it because I was just like, we talked about it during the show. How many times are we going to see Judgment Day and, Judgment Day Rio and Kabuki Warriors and Rio? And they're fighting the same two teams, it feels like, and it feels redundant and it feels like I know you just
If
gave
I'm
Rio the titles, but they still are only fighting. Like, go ahead.
I feel like, and I told you this, it's time for the Judgment Day to end. It's dragged
It's
it's
been
dragged
time.
on. It's dragged on this far. Who is really benefiting from it? Roxanne maybe is
I think
probably
what
the
they're
one that's
trying to do
benefiting
is
the
use it.
most.
I think what they're trying to do is use it, and this could be a stretch, but I think they're trying to use it as like a revolving door for enhancing young talent when they come up. You think about when it's and the exception of it was with Edge, and he brought in Rhea and Damian when they needed that elevated push, and then they got that elevated push through Judgment Day. Then it transitions to Finn being the leader, and you bring Liv in there, and then you bring Roxanne in there, and then you bring Dom in there, and they're all getting elevated, and you had Rhea still being elevated at the same time. DP was being elevated at the same time. So I think what they're trying to do, and it's been a faction for so long because of that. You've had so many, young up and comers that have actually benefited from the faction, let's be honest. And they just,
You
that's what they're
have
doing.
when they actually have something to go after. Like now
Hmm.
they're well now, especially with Dom out right now,
Yeah.
it's kind of like they're just on the and not I don't want okay, let me not say they're on the afterburn because they have everything with Finn and we'll get more into that later going on, which it's about time that they give him something to work with, but other than that, it's like right now I'm kind of, I want to see what happens with I don't know if you had peeped it, but next week it's going to be Stephanie and Raquel for the championship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I did. I did.
I'm kind of curious to see how that goes because I told you as much as I would hate to take the title off of Stephanie right now, I would be okay with Raquel taking the title if it plays to some type of jealousy angle with Liv and it fractures the Judgment Day.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I agree with you. I agree with you. I could see that. I could see that. Shoot, dude.
That's leading directly into the next segment with CM Punk to Finn Balor, where
Yep.
Balor pretty much came up to him and told him that, like, he appreciates that Punk gave him his flowers and with everything going on and being in Ireland, that he didn't take the chance to give Punk his, so he wanted to give Punk his flowers. And it looked like, and we'll get more into it, like it was genuine, kind of like, are we seeing Finn kind of maybe break away from the Judgment Day and go face? Is that something? It made you think. And CM Punk pretty much told them, I mean, I guess Finn pretty much told them like that them two aren't done. That pretty much like he wanted to run it back, but CM Punk told them that pretty much that as long as you're around some or people like Dom Mysterio, you'll never be champion. And pretty much told them to leave the Judgment Day. And told them
Yeah, I mean,
if he
isn't
wants
Dom
to fight
Mysterio the
Punk again.
Intercontinental Champion? I'm just saying. Sorry. I'm pretty sure Dom does have gold around his waist. Wasn't he a Triple A champion and Intercontinental champ? I'm pretty sure he was. Okay, I'm pretty sure he was Mr. Dom 2 belts. So hold on, Mr. Phil, okay? Mr. Punk,
Hey, don't you talk
okay?
like that
He
about
wins,
don't you
he's
talk
got
like that about
championships.
Phil. He is the best in the world, and you know it.
He is the best in the world. But hey, you gotta put some respect on Dom, bro.
You definitely got to put some.
But no,
It's not so much. It's not about
good.
Dom's accomplishments. It's about Dom's slick ass, greasy ass, goddamn mullet and that weaselly ass mustache.
Every time bro, I swear Punk be hating Dom, bro. And man, bro, I saw fucking it was like some type of wing eating thing. It was like a trailer or clip for it. I have to find it. But he was like it was like him and AJ were doing a skit together and it was like, oh, and by the way, fuck Dom Mysterio. I was like,
Oh
yo,
yeah, I
what?
seen that.
He just said fuck Dom. It was like, yeah, fuck
Just
Dom. I was like,
randomly,
oh.
fuck
I
Dom.
was like, oh.
But that was pretty
I was
much the
like, I know
basis
he
of
ain't
that.
being for real, but damn.
Yeah, bro. Like I always got to stay in character when it comes to Dom. But that's pretty much the basis of how that interaction went. Besides having Liv be right around the corner, listening in and like trying to manipulate. I kind of like, and I told you this on the phone as we were watching. I like how Finn just cut her off. Like, hey, don't worry about what I got going on. I got this handled. So it kind of had you questioning like what he was gonna do. But after that, we had the Vision come out because we had advertised that it was gonna be a face to face with Braun and Adam Pierce. Um, So first we had
Yeah.
the Vision obviously come out. We had Paul do his usual introduction, and he provided evidence on why Adam Pierce was going to come out there and grant lift the suspension on Braun Break. I told you I thought maybe he was gonna do something, but as you called, he came out there. He apologized to Braun Breaker's face, lifted the suspension, and immediately gave him a spot in the Royal Rumble, which we knew that was coming. But not only that, he gave Logan, Bronson Reed, and Theory also a spot. And um and we really had like a conversation because it's really piquing both of our interests on who was on that phone call
Yeah.
because now kind of seems like, I mean, obviously we'll see more as the weeks go on with this, but
Hmm.
it's seeming like he's afraid to take control of his brand now because he doesn't know what the repercussions are going to be.
Right. Like he's kind of gotten bullied into making, adhering to the Vision's requests,
Yeah,
basically.
right. And it's like we even, you know, obviously the episode didn't come out last week, but we talked about, it's just crazy because I talked about this last week
Right.
on how I like that the GMs have some type of backbone. They're not just an idiot.
Yep. Yep.
And Adam Pierce this week pretty much just says, hold my beer, watch this.
Went right back to being an obedient servant
Yeah. And it's like,
of the roster. Yeah.
but he came out, he apologized to Braun. He uh let Paul Heyman know that the paperwork's already been filed, he's reinstated, and he's in the Rumble. But on top of that, Bronson, you're in the Rumble, Theory, you're in the Rumble, and Logan Paul, you're also in the Rumble.
You get a rumble spot. You get a rumble spot. You get a rumble spot. You get a rumble spot.
And
Basically.
yeah, pretty much he was the Oprah of Rumble spots last night. Except
Yeah.
for if your name was Finn Balor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he also um acknowledged the theory that maybe if he wouldn't have gotten involved, that he might have gotten a win last week. So what he was doing was giving Theory a chance at redemption, and he booked a one-on-one match between Theory and Ray. Which, as soon as we knew that, we even said, "Well, that's another loss for Ray."
Bruh, again, like we talk about this, I feel like it's becoming a weekly thing, or maybe WWE just wants this to be a weekly thing. But damn you, WWE, give Rey Mysterio something to chew on, bro. Give him a singles televised W. I'm tired of seeing this. I'm tired of seeing this. The way you're treating the Hall of Famer,
Yeah,
respectfully, it's got to stop. It's got to.
yeah, it's like, bro, these guys they become Hall of Famers, come become, you know, big, so big, and it's just like, okay, now you're just gonna be a jobber for whoever.
The Miz, he's another
Eh,
one.
Perfect example.
That's like, 2 years, no singles televised win. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
and we two-time Grand Slam champion. Come on, come on. Like, what are we talking about? I get it. You can use them to enhance the younger guys, but you ain't got to bury them every single week, and that's what's happening.
And like I told you, it's not like Ray losing is really enhancing because motherfuckers don't beat Ray clean.
Yeah, they
It's
got to move
always
heaven and earth.
something.
Got to move heaven and earth. Got to find shenanigans. Got to find a way to screw him out of a win because it ain't like he just loses clean. It's not like, it'd be one thing if, you know, I'm gonna take the Big Show for an example. Big Show pick him up, choke slam him, knock him out, whatever, and that's it. Just squashes him, right? It didn't happen like that. It usually didn't happen like that. When Ray and Big Show fought, it was always some extra shit going on that Big Show had to find a way to screw Ray out of beating him. You know,
That's why he's got the nickname the biggest little is it the yeah, it's the
biggest
biggest
little
little
man. Yeah.
man.
Yep. It's crazy.
But yeah, so that match ended in shenanigans, as we all I'm sure are used to now when it comes to WWE. You can pretty much earmark at least one of the matches is going to end in shenanigans on a weekly basis.
Pretty much.
Um, but after the match, the Vision put a pretty good beatdown on Penta and Dragon Lee. Obviously, you seen Ray wasn't involved in that in said beatdown. That's because if I don't know if everybody peeped it, but when all that was happening, the doctors were coming and checking on him at the ring, and supposedly he's got a legitimate injury.
Yeah, I was actually shook about that because I was actually looking at it today. Uh, obviously we're recording this part on Tuesday, but we had, I saw the report come through on Bleacher Report and they were like, "Yeah, Ray's got a legit injury." And I texted you, or it wasn't legit injury, it's just like he has an injury. And I texted you, I was like, "Is this a work or is this like legit?" And then you were like, "Yeah, the ref put up the X yesterday on Raw." And I was like, "I didn't even see that." So that's kind of crazy. That's kind of well wishes. Hopefully
Kind
he
of
comes
sucks because
back.
he pretty much just came back from an injury too.
Mhm. And it's sad because I'm like, with all the injuries and surgeries and all this stuff that Ray has had, people forget, bro. He's been battered, he's been beat up, he's been put under that knife so many times already. So to see him get
Each
hurt at
injury
this
gets
point,
us that much closer to Ray retiring.
yes, yes, bro. And I'm just like, oh God, please don't let it be like a significant injury. I don't want to see that for him. I don't want to see that for any superstar, obviously, but especially for Ray at his age and with all the wear and tear he's already put on his body.
Yeah, right. It's just it sucks to see. I love Ray. Loved him when growing up watching him. And that's why, obviously you do too. That's why we're both so adamant about the fact that it's like, let him get a singles win. Jesus Christ.
Yes, yes, bro.
So we both are praying for a speedy recovery for Ray. Hope to see you back in the ring real soon. Hopefully you don't have to miss Rumble, but it's kind of looking like that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
If this
Uh,
injury is as legitimate as it's being said.
like I said a minute ago, hopefully it's nothing serious, but we have to wait and find out. You know, hopefully it's nothing that keeps him out for months and months on end, or is something that he has to have surgery for. But
If
yeah,
he's going to
just
miss
well
Rumble, I
wishes.
hope he can at least get back for Mania. I hope he doesn't
Oh
have to
yeah,
miss Mania.
but Yeah, well wishes and speedy recovery, please. Thank you. Let's move on. What do we have after the beatdown?
We had Jay
Uh
come out to sit ringside for the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team #1 Contenders match between the Creed Brothers, the New Day, the Los Americanos, and Otis and Tozawa. Um,
yeah. Yeah.
and to be honest with you, the team that I least expected to win is the team that actually came out with the W. Not that I'm mad about that because it's nice, we covered this in an episode. New Day has already faced the Usos 44 times or something like that, if I remember the number correct. And they just had a match against the Usos. So
Mhm.
for the immediate future, I'm pretty good. I'm set on seeing that. Um, I'm like I said, I was shocked with the outcome, but I do like it to get another team in there to actually go for the tag team titles, give Jay and Jimmy somebody different in the ring.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but one takeaway that I do want to address from that match is WWE, please do something with the Creed brothers. They are one of the only legitimate tag teams you have. And I get it. Chad Gable got hurt, probably put a story on the back burner, but you don't need Chad Gable there
Yeah.
to incorporate them into the tag division.
That's really the whole thing with them. It's just the simple fact of, like you said, they're one of the, you know, one of the most legit tag teams, or one of the only legit tag teams WWE has at the moment. So why not actually give them something to do? I get it, like you said, as it pertains to Chad Gable. Um, I know that there was something planned with them with as it pertains to him. Uh, but it doesn't mean just drop them. And it doesn't mean you can't find other ways to use them. They used them in this match. Now they didn't have him go over. That's okay, because I think in the intermediate space, it protects them, because I don't think you wanna put them with the Usos right now. I think right now
Especially,
you establish them, as
go
a
ahead.
team, and then you let them kinda develop more, get their characters more, like, let the audience kinda
It,
gravitate more towards them, and then you could have a Uso match with the Creed brothers, but they're not relevant enough yet. The Usos are up here, you know. Now I get Otis and Tozawa ain't necessarily up here with the Usos either, but people know
at
of
least
Otis
they're
and
on the
Tozawa,
TV every week.
right? Otis
You
and
know what I mean?
Tozawa have been there. They're the Santino and the Kozlov, right? Like they're the comedy
Yeah,
act, but
they're the
people know
comedy
of
tag
them,
team.
right?
It's,
But
you know,
people
it's
know of them.
um I mean, that's pretty much it. It was a standard fatal 4-way. You know,
Hmm.
nothing really extravagant happened. Oh, and WWE also get Grayson Waller the hell away from the New Day,
Yeah,
please. It's just giving the kid trying to fit into the cool crowd like that.
yeah,
And I told you
yeah,
that during their entrance. I'm like,
yeah,
it just doesn't
yeah.
it doesn't fit. Like
It's just
if
a
you want to
cringe. It's a cringe vibe. It's very cringe, bro. Whenever
if
I
you
see
want
him with the New Day,
yeah, if you want to build up Grayson Waller, cool, that's fine. There's other ways to do it. New Day is not in a position to be throwing somebody uh to be giving them another person within, obviously, he's not officially a New Day member, but he's always
yeah,
with them. So
it's not. Where
to
they're
throw
being booked, where New Day's being booked, over the last few years, they're not in a position to. They're not. It's not Kofi Mania. It's not them throwing pancakes. It's not none of the New Day that we know and love. It's a whole different thing, and where they're at on the card, they're not prominently featured. So you don't necessarily see them every week. You don't necessarily see them put on 20-minute matches every week. They don't have promos every week. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before they used to. So if you were to do that with Grayson Allen now, like if you gave them more prominent TV spots and booking now, like they had back then
Waller.
maybe we could talk about, or yeah, Grayson Waller, I'm sorry. But, you know, if you were to do that with him now, then we could talk about enhancement and they're actually benefiting him. But right now, there's no point.
Exactly. You're better
This
off
is
just
not.
having him be a single star and building him up that way.
Yep. Yep.
But that's pretty much it from that match. Like I said, nothing, too noteworthy that happened besides who came out with the win.
Hey, bro, what did I say instead of Grayson Waller?
You said Grayson Allen.
Damn.
And we're not
I was
hooping.
thinking basketball.
Yeah, I would say we're definitely not hooping.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead, though.
But after that, we had a short segment with Finn and Adam Pearce, where Finn wanted to declare for the Rumble, and Adam Pearce said that pretty much, I'm sorry, but it's full. I don't have a spot for you. And then you kind of seen the look on Finn's face that it was like, okay, I'm gonna make it undeniable. And from there, it segued right into the main event. CM Punk versus AJ Styles, first time ever in WWE ring for the World Heavyweight Championship. And what do we get? Shenanigans.
Weekly shenanigans.
Pretty, obviously I think they can cook more. I don't think they wanted to necessarily go all out with how the ending was going to be, which kind of sucks because as we've talked about, we both are in the thought that Royal Rumble is AJ's last WWE, match appearance, however you want to call it. So it kind of sucks that we didn't get to see an actual match between them. And I kind of hope now that AJ wins because I want to see an actual 1v1 one-on-one match with him with no shenanigans being involved. And by the shenanigans, because we didn't specify, as I said earlier, Finn Balor had a look on his face that, okay, I'll make it undeniable. And Finn Balor came out and he attacked CM Punk, gave him about, I think it was 3 coup de grace, and then he did the drop kick into the barricade a few times. And Finn Balor, folks, yes, that Finn Balor was the one to stand tall to close the show. I really, really,
Which
really,
I'm not mad about.
I'm not mad either.
Not mad about it. As with Finn, again, I don't know if I've said this in a past episode or not. I think I might have, but with him being essentially the inaugural Universal Champion and not getting an opportunity to really carry that title reign and carry that title, it sucks. So it's been a while since we haven't had an opportunity for him to win a world title since then, really. So it's kind of refreshing to have
He
him
hasn't even been
be in this situation.
He hasn't even been in a title match where you could even believably think that he was going to get the title.
Yeah. Right. So it's refreshing to see him in this situation, right? I think I do I think it's gonna end up in him winning the championship? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because it's too clustered right now. You got Braun, you got Punk, you got, whoever else is in the division. And when Seth comes back, he's probably gonna have something to do with the world title as well. So I just don't see how you fit him in there.
I think the story for right now with Finn, I think they eventually want to get him back up there, but I think the story for right now needs to be him distancing himself from the Judgment Day, and he should have a program with Dom.
Yeah. I mean, they've been sitting on that for a while. The only thing with that is, though, does Finn go over in that or does Dom go over in that? Because realistically, you want Dom to go over in that because you want him to elevate, you want him to benefit. But if you want Finn to have that maximum distance and him be a baby face and him get back on that track, he has to beat Dom.
The thing with,
kind of like,
to me, with Dom is I don't think a loss really diminishes Dom. Because I mean, does he still have both belts?
I believe so.
I was saying, yeah, I don't think he lost. I don't think he lost the AAA. in the match that he got hurt in.
I know he's hurt with the IC title. So yeah, I
So
believe
like
he
you
still
could
has
have
the
that
titles.
program. You could have that program pretty much like you could have two programs in one if he's holding both titles. Like you could have a program where Finn's trying to get one of the two titles off him. So he's got match, he faces Dom for the AAA. Maybe doesn't win, but then he faces Dom for the Intercontinental and win. So you could play it like that. Like I said though, I don't think Dom a loss really diminishes Dom. The crowd reaction that he gets anytime he comes out, whether it be the crowd loving him, or the crowd booing him, that's what you want. It doesn't matter the type of reaction that you just want to get a reaction.
He's gonna get
And
a reaction. Yeah.
and people love to boo and people love to cheer Dom. So I don't think him being, it could even possibly be the start of him losing both of the titles he now holds now to then elevate up to the main event of Raw.
Yeah, that would be nice. Again, we just got to see how they play it. I know I'm still of the belief that, I think it just has to be booked correctly, bro. It needs to be written correctly because I still think where he's at right now in his career, it's delicate because I think he's still on that bubble where if you pop that bubble with a loss to the wrong person or in the wrong situation, it's gonna fuck him up. That's just me, depending on the writing and the booking. I don't think he's quite enough solidified yet to really be like, okay, no matter, we can write him into some BS and he'll be fine. But we'll see. We'll see how they do it.
But that pretty much that wraps up this week's episode of Raw. Is there anything you would like to chime in?
No, I mean we can obviously we can talk about our Royal Rumble and what we think's going on for Mania.
I mean, for the most part,
we talked about a little bit of our thoughts earlier, but we could talk about what we think is gonna happen with Sammy and Cody and Drew and Jacob and freaking who's gonna win the Rumble. Roman's he's coming back. He's popping up in the Rumble. Is he gonna win?
I really haven't strayed too far from my most recent predictions. I still think Braun is the one to win the Rumble. I need to see how this match plays out with Sammy and Drew before I can say exactly where that's going. But as of right now, I believe it's going to be a triple threat between Drew, Cody, and Jacob. But I do see a world, like I said earlier in the show, where we can see Sammy involved as well.
Now, I'm gonna throw a wrench into the Royal Rumble. What about LA Knight? He hasn't
Do we see how much Triple H likes to give that man a win?
I know.
Until
but just hear me out.
When it comes to LA Knight, I'm done getting my hopes up.
That's what everybody's saying, bro. I saw a video.
Just prove me wrong.
I saw a video on Instagram of this dude who he does like impersonations, bro. Awesome.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Triple H, he was doing like Triple H, doing different entrants, like who's
he
most
was
probable
ranking
to win the
he
Royal
was ranking
Rumble.
the Royal Rumble or the likelihood of to win the Royal Rumble.
He got to LA Knight. He was like,
he got to LA
not.
Knight and he put him up. He put him like 7. But no, what the funniest part is right after that, Eddie Guerrero pops up and he puts Eddie Guerrero above LA Knight, and he says, "Still a better possibility than LA Knight winning the Rumble."
I was like, damn, that's crazy. So what you're saying is true. I understand, but hear me out. Okay, hear me out. If LA comes back, who was the last 2 people to beat him down?
Logan Paul and Bronson Reed.
So it wasn't Braun? I thought it was
was
Braun and Brunson. It was Logan and Brunson?
it was
Oh,
Logan.
okay. Yeah. Well, then never mind.
Braun was in. I'm
So
pretty
he's
sure
got
Braun was in the ring, but when they remember he rolled out the ring and you thought that was it, and they went to the back, that was just Bronson
Oh
and
yeah,
Logan.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, so yeah, never mind. I was gonna say you could have LA Knight have him come back and screw Braun because I thought Braun attacked him, but I guess he did. Or did he attack him in the ring? I
He
can't
did.
remember. I could have sworn he attacked him, but
Who hasn't
okay,
Braun
he did.
attacked at this
Okay,
point? Like, you know, at least on
yeah,
the face
that's a
side
good
of
point
things.
too. That's a good point. But I mean, I'm just saying they got to do something with LA Knight, bro.
They
If
do.
he comes back,
I
that'd
think
be
it's a
awesome.
possibility.
But you just know he's not gonna win it. It's like if he comes back at the Rumble and doesn't win, I'm gonna be kind of hurt. It's gonna be like that sucks. Like don't even have him show back up at the Rumble then if you're not gonna have him win. He's a mega star. He's too good for that.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, but nah, dog. I'd love to see that. And as far as
I wouldn't hate it.
what's more realistic, I think as far as what's more realistic though, you think you're right. Who'd you call? I'm sorry.
Braun.
It's blanket on me. I think Braun.
But
it's already written.
yeah, I think WrestleMania 42 night 1 main event is going to be Braun Breaker, CM Punk.
Okay.
Night 2 is going to be Drew versus Jacob versus Cody. Those are my 2 main event predictions as of right now. You know,
I don't know if I'm happy with that.
I mean,
I don't know if I'm happy with that.
It really also
honest,
depends on what is Roman doing for, you know, Mania. What is Brock doing for Mania?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like I don't know if I like that's going. Yeah.
Like I heard rumblings.
You know,
I
if those
heard
are
rumblings
two main events,
of a Gunther Brock match for Mania.
You can't have Gunther lose that.
I know that's the thing. That's why I don't think it's gonna happen.
Because, you know, I think what we're both in agreement on is he's gonna win. Gunther's gonna win at Royal Rumble against AJ, and he'll of course keep his retirement streak going. Because I don't think you have him essentially retire Cena and retire Goldberg for him to lose the opportunity to do it to another legend immediately after. I can't see that. Now, you know, and then to have him do that to AJ just for a month, 2 months later to then get it broken by Brock is just another, like, why would you do that? You know? So I don't know.
I would much rather Brock and Oba.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of where I think that might be going.
That would be tough. Brock and Oba, and then you let Oba go over. Yeah.
I mean, out of everybody on the roster, who's the one guy on the roster that can, like, at least from a presence standpoint, obviously like Roman, but we're not talking about Roman. But like when it comes to a pure presence, stature of somebody, Oba is the one person on the roster that can make Brock look small.
Yeah. Right. Like that man is ridiculously swole. But yeah, Oba and fucking Brock, dude. Woo! Yeah, that's a banger right there.
I'm hoping that's where I'm hoping right now. It's always hard to predict Brock matches because of how long of fucking breaks he takes. So it's like we haven't seen him since
I think
War Games.
I think what you do with Brock at this point, if it's true that I think at the end of the day, if you're going to lead up to a Gunther and Brock match, do the opposite of what you've been doing with Brock essentially ever since he came back to WWE. Do the reverse. So he's squashing everybody. He's beating everybody. What you just said about Oba. Have Oba go into WrestleMania. He ain't got to squash him, but let that be the first loss that Brock takes, like, clean. And then he'll lose another match to somebody else. It won't be like he gets dogged, but he'll lose. And then he'll go and fight. Eventually, he'll lose all his matches until he fights Gunther. And people will think that Brock will finally get his mojo back and win, but he won't. and he'll lose. So essentially lose all the way on his way out the door. They got to pay him a lot of money for that. I know they're going to pay him a lot of money for that, but he's essentially going to
They
put
got to pay a lot
everybody
of
over
money
on
for
the
him
way
just to
out.
show up.
Yeah, so it's like essentially the best way I think for Brock to go out, essentially, like I said, is the reverse, because he was winning and basically going over every time he came back, or when he came back, every match that he had, he was going over. Now on the way out, give back every match. Every match now I'm giving back. I'm losing. And that's how he goes out.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be a way to go about it. Because at this point for Brock, it doesn't matter how many matches in a row he loses. You don't ruin the mystique of Brock.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. Even if he loses, there's always that thought in the back of your head that he's going to win the next match.
Yeah,
Because
right.
he's the beast.
You can never fully rule out Brock, no matter how many losses in a row he's taken.
It's almost like Cena, which, remember when he came back for the retirement tour and he was putting himself in the Rumble, and he was like, well, what if I go win the Rumble because I haven't been winning, and da-da-da-da. People still thought, okay, he could win the Rumble. People still thought, okay, he'll win the match, like, because it's John Cena. It's just, that's who he is.
I mean, he was my
And
pick
Cena
to win
he
last
hadn't
year until
won.
the
And
last second.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, like you said, with guys that are that established, it doesn't matter. They could lose for years and still be okay. Their legacy's already cemented.
But as of like the rest of,
was there anything else we wanted to touch on, really? Or is that, we want to wrap it up?
all right, guys, that's going to be it for this week's episode. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe and comment below who you guys got winning the Rumble, and give us one wild prediction that you guys have for me.
Yeah, bro, we are locked in for WrestleMania season, bro. Y'all know what it is. We got the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. I think we got another Saturday night's main event, and then it's on to the big dance. So, like we said, man, like, subscribe. Y'all know what it is. It's right in the ropes. See you guys next time, bro.
Love,
bro. We out.